Hope all you guys are doing great, enjoying your dogs and loving your dogs most importantly. So today there's another edition of Canine Conversations, this section in which I answer as many questions as possible and still keep it kind of interesting for you. So first question is Stevie Isufi says, 4-month-old French Bulldog barks at other dogs. What should I do? He's a 4-month-old French Bulldog. There's not much I can tell you about that. Puppies bark at other dogs because they're initiating play. They want to play, they want to initiate, they want to engage, they want to do things like that. It's their only way of communication. I would suggest you only let your dog meet really friendly other dogs. Structure that interaction, make sure the dog gets around other dogs that are safe so that the dog has a good experience with other dogs. I would not let them meet, your dog, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, meet other dogs willy-nilly. I would find dogs that are safe, that are not going to bite them, that are going to give him a positive experience, and try to encourage him to be a little calm before he plays with them, because that's going to be a lot better way for them to meet. Next question is Aran28 says it's important to give your dog proper teaching before going to a dog park. If your dog doesn't have a great recall, do not go. I don't know if there's a question or you're talking to me. Having a good recall is one of the best things to teach your dog when you go to a dog park. If you like to know more about being safe at a dog, you can ask questions on my channel. I guess you're trying to promote your channel here, Aaron. I know you says someday you want to do a video with me on the do's and don'ts of dog parks, so I'm just going to be really blunt with you. Dog parks are a no-no. You don't do dog parks. I don't do dog parks. I don't like dog parks. That's coming from somebody who has brought playgroups to the city of Los Angeles shelters, one of the largest sheltering systems in the world. I structure the playgroups, I teach their playgroups and teach them how to do playgroups safely. But what's really important to realize is that I structure those playgroups. I'm in charge of everything and every dog in that group, and every dog in that group knows that I'm in charge. That's why I've been able to do it safely for so long, because it is a structured playgroup. It's not a willy-nilly playgroup. It's not some dog park in the neighborhood where, 10, 15, 20, 30 people are letting the dogs run off leash and sitting like idiots texting and Facebooking the whole time. That's not a good way to do it, because dogs need structured interaction. People always say dogs are social animals. That's not necessarily true. Dogs are pack animals. So in a dog park setting, I would say that if you know every other person in that park and you know every other dog in that park, I think it's great. Otherwise, forget it. I don't do dog parks. So if you want to do a video with me, Arhan, we're not going to talk about dog parks because I don't do dog parks. Noel says, yes, finally a method that makes sense. Something about this clicks. Thank you. I'm hearing that a lot lately, so I'm glad a lot of you guys are getting something out of this. Okay, so you're saying based on not correcting in close proximity, when or how would you begin leash training without negative association? So the question is, with leash training, can you just connect near you? I don't want my dog to think being near me is negative. Excellent question. I'll do a full instructional video on that. I'm going to make a little star by your name so that I remember to do that. But the basic idea is we don't start the leash association as negative. So people always start with a 4-foot leash and yank the dog close when the dog doesn't know where he should be. In the beginning, we use a long line. We use a 12, 15-foot line. We teach the dog that being away from us is a negative association, not necessarily negative. And we pop the dog, give the dog correction. When the dog comes close to us, we give him a treat, we give him a pet, we give him praise. I don't care, whatever you want to do. That doesn't matter. But we don't correct the dog when he's close to us and trying to get away. In the beginning, we start that association with being very positive. When they're near us, we treat them, we praise them, we pet them, we do whatever. Then we start to let them go a little further away, correct, reward. So it's a basic positive, negative principle where you're correcting the dog when doing something wrong and praising when they're doing something right. Later, as you work the leash closer and closer and closer, you'll see even the video that I have up with Maya on the leash training, which is already up there. You'll see that I do correct her at a distance, and then she's just naturally going to fall into that position closer. And then when she does make a mistake closer, I can still correct her, but the association really is very clear in the dog's mind by then. So excellent question. I'm going to make another video on that. So next question is 1980 Cog. I have an autistic son who's very hyperactive. When we bring the puppy in, he gets overexcited and runs back and forth, so the puppy chases him. With his limited understanding, it's nearly impossible to calm him down. We're not sure to do it in small sessions of interaction because of how hyper things get. If keeping the puppy always there is better, so it becomes less exciting. Okay, I understand your question. Yeah, so that's a great point. So I would put the puppy in a crate, and I would have the puppy seeing your son in these erratic movements, which is kind of tough on dogs to understand because it does initiate their prey drive. But to get the dog to have a positive association to the child, you probably would have been better off to start off with a dog that was maybe a retired seeing eye dog or something like that, a dog that's already calm. I don't know what kind of dog you have. You didn't mention in here, and it doesn't really matter, but the only way this is going to work is if you start the dog in a crate when he's doing something like eating, have your son running around the puppy, and then so the puppy gets used to it in a real positive environment. That's going to be critical for you to get that, and then slowly get the dog out of the crate, and then have the dog in really short spurts. See your son doing this when the dog is calm, your son's calm. Huge reward, a ton of treat, ton of praise, all that. It's going to take time. You got a monumental task ahead of you. I applaud you for doing it. I think it's great for autistic children to relate to animals. I only want it to be in a positive way so that there's no negative association with that. So I hope that helps you. It's a really important thing. Next question. Javier says, thanks for your videos. You're welcome. We just got a 3-month-old puppy, cross Mastiff and Collie. I don't know why people breed. I hope nobody bred that. I hope that was a rescue. And she's biting us a lot. Closed hands. Is it normal? Also, he bites a lot the lead. How can we stop her when she does these things? Okay, this I've covered 1,000 times on puppy things, puppy videos. Puppies bite. Puppies are mouthy. They're not biting to be aggressive. They're biting to be mouthy. And this is something you've got to wrap your head around. It's just what the dog is going to do for the first year. If you've got a puppy, there should be a warning on getting puppies, but most people, to be politically correct, we can't say that. We can't not adopt dogs to certain people. And I mean certain people who are not understanding of dogs. It has nothing to do with anything else. But certain people shouldn't have dogs. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a dog, Javier, but what I'm saying, you should understand that a puppy is a puppy, and a puppy is going to bite, and you're going to be dealing with this for a long time. So put the puppy in a crate. Don't interact with the puppy when the puppy is acting like this. Short interactions, solid interactions, positive interactions, praiseful interactions, structured interactions. That will make you have a lot better life with this dog. And I'll say it a million times, puppies mouth things. That's just what they're going to do. Daryl Rackley says, not sure how to ask you anything, but you're doing it, so it's great. I thought I'd ask, how do I train your 6-year-old dog how to bark at the door to go outside to go potty? So it's a really simple thing, actually. The dog will start, I don't know if you want him to bark, because once the dog learns to bark, he's going to start barking nonstop for your attention, if he sees us getting you attention. Basically, the simple way to get a dog to understand that we're going to go outside, we're going to do these things, is to get the dog in a pattern. So we take the dog when it's ready to go potty, we take him out the same door and outside, and out the same door and outside. You do this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then what you can do is you can take the dog to the door and have the door closed and wait till the dog gets a little frustrated. The dog will probably chirp or bark or whine or something and immediately open the door. Next time, wait until the dog does it 2 or 3 times, immediately open the door, and that'll start to form a pattern in his mind. But I don't know if I would really teach that. I would use a dog door. It's much better. It's what I do. I leave a door open, and I like it that way. So, okay, Jeannie Patterson. Jeannie, you asking, I am in a Canine Good Citizen class, and unfortunately this is part of the test. Sit, stand, come. How can I untrain the incorrect way? Okay, so Jeannie, what you're doing is a Canine Good Citizen. By the way, everybody should do Canine Good Citizen with their dog. I love it. I think it's one of the best things in the world if you can get your dog through it. This, you're referring to the video that I did, which has been monumentally successful, called The Biggest Mistake Dog Trainers Make, the 3 biggest mistake dog trainers make. And one of them is they call their dog out of a sit to a come. Your dog will automatically come out of a sit, I guarantee that. I just don't like it to be patterned. I don't want the dog to pre-release, to release early, which is why I stress the importance of a tactile release for that. The dog will automatically come to you. You should, I mean, let's say you're doing this an exercise and I say never, 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 which I really believe. But if, 2 times out of 50, you call your dog to you as opposed to going back to the dog will learn the pattern that he should wait until you release him. You're trying to prevent a preemptive or a release in the dog's mind where he thinks, okay, I gotta go. So it's a suspicion. He thinks it's coming, he thinks you're gonna release him, and then he releases automatically. So hope that helps you. I'll do one more here, and that is from Rami Karkafi. Let's see here. Perfect content as usual. I'd like to ask you, my 3-month-old Labrador picks stuff off the ground, such as rocks, wood, starts chewing whenever I come close to take it away. He starts growling. This also happens with new toys. What's the best way to correct this behavior before it escalates? I am using the treat and takeaway method, but I don't think I am seeing results. Thanks in advance. So this is really important. I'll probably cover this again on another video. But generally, if you have a 3-month-old Labrador and he's growling, he's initiating play. So he thinks you're going to play with him. And generally, if you're reaching in his mouth and trying to get stuff like that, he's going to see that you are playing with him. So unless you got this dog from some kind of a dog fighting ring or something, I doubt a 3-month-old Labrador is going to be aggressive. So his growling is just trying to get you to play with him, which you don't want to do. So just stand your ground, hold the toy, make it, or the rock or whatever. What I usually try to do with the dog is I will, it's real windy here today, so that's why we're having some problems with the lights. What I try to do with the dog is to immobilize the dog. So I'll pick him up when he's on a harness, or I'll lift him off the ground. Don't choke him, don't do anything like that. And also don't make real sudden movements toward the dog, because then they might swallow that and see it as a game. Just real calmly pick the dog up, tilt them forward a tiny bit until they drop it. Reach your hand into his mouth real calmly, and he'll drop whatever's in there. And the big thing is, watch my video on teach your dog to leave it, the leave it command, which I think will help you a lot, because you want to get to the dog before he does these things, and that's going to make things a lot easier. But the most important thing is, the dog is growling, don't start to back off from the dog. So if you go near the dog and you go to take the toy out and he growls and you back up, you're teaching the dog that as a really reinforced behavior, and that's really dangerous for dogs to learn that. And that's a lot of times how aggression starts. So fix that, you'll be in good shape. Thanks for watching. It's a kind of a long edition of Canine Conversations, and I hope we addressed a lot of good questions. And check back next week. There'll be another edition up. Take care. Hey, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. Share with your friends. Share with all your dog loving friends.